So on this problem, what we got to remember is a couple of things. One, the question is asking us about parallel lines. So let's remember what that means. Parallel lines are lines that have the same slope. Now, each homework section or section that we do, there are concepts. This concept, we're going to talk about parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So the parallel lines have the same slope. Okay. Now, perpendicular lines, they have a negative reciprocal. So if I have slope 1, then the second line is going to be negative 1 over that slope. And let me give you an example of that. So if I have a slope that is equal to 3, 3 is the same as 3 over 1, the next slope would be the opposite, which is negative 1 over 3. So it is what we call the opposite reciprocal. Remember, reciprocal is a word, reciprocal just means flipping the fraction. Opposite means the opposite sign. If it's positive, the opposite of positive is negative. The opposite of negative is positive. So the first thing I got to do is we're asked to figure out which one of these two equations, one of them is going to be a parallel line, right? And the other one is going to be a perpendicular line, okay? So the first thing that I've got to do is figure out what the slope of the original line JK is. So to do that, I'm going to count the rise over run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. I notice that K comes out to here. So to get from J to K, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going down, so that's a negative 10. So that's my rise. Now for my run, I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my run. So the slope of this thing is the rise over run, and that's equal to negative 10 over 6, which reduces down, if I divide the top and bottom by 2, that reduces down to negative 5 over 3. Now, in the next section, I'm going to show you guys, or on some of these examples, I'm going to show you how that works. But basically what I'm looking for, lastly, is that all these equations are written in ax plus by equals c form. We'll call that the standard form, where the slope is just equal to negative a over b. So by looking at this, I'm looking for the opposite of this. So this one has the same slope. And then I got to look for one that has the negative of that. And so that would be this one. So the parallel line would be 5x plus 3y equals 13. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And the perpendicular line would be 6x minus 10y equals 7, okay? And basically where that comes from is this slope would be negative 5 over 3. That's the first equation. And then this slope here would be negative 6 over negative 10, which reduces down to 3 over 5, which is the negative reciprocal. So this is the perpendicular one.